Yes, sir, man. So things are really about to kick up. The preseason about to start. College football about to start. Man, baseball been going on for those that have been paying attention. But man, I want to ask the group like, what's y'all favorite sports rivalry? And it could be pros or college.
I gotta go Battle of the Bay. For as for all of us, we all grew up on one side except school, but and Miles, of course. So we all know how big that was, and most of the time it was even the preseason games. We treated that shit like regular season, and then tried to act like we didn't give a fuck if our team lost by just saying it's preseason. But anytime San Francisco and Oakland kind of gets to go at it, man, it was always something. And the the feeling you get losing to the Raiders, dog, as a fan is probably some of the sickest shit ever. Just because like we know like the Raiders history, they're just not they haven't been that good of a team, and the Niners are kind of like up and down where we're like Super Bowl bound or playoff bound, or then we're like rebuilding. But just the hate that we have for y'all still have, but it's kind of hard to hate someone y'all barely play now in the preseason every 4 years in the regular season. I don't know, man. It was just different. And the shit talk was it was one of a kind, especially coming from y'all. I remember y'all beat us hardballs last year, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, bruh. And phone was off, bruh. Phone was off, TV was off, game on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't stand y'all motherfuckers, bruh. Because y'all really run that shit in. Pause. Uh, yeah, man.
Hey,
I said pause. I said it. Y'all can't even say nothing. But the Battle of the Bay, man. That would rest in peace to it. It's not it's not gonna be the same, but that's gonna be mine right there.
I could piggyback off that. It was special. In the preseason games, I got the chance to be there for a couple of those, and that was awesome. The game in 2014 that Aaron was talking about when the Raiders beat them in hardball was last year. That one like was very like memorable for me because I think we were still in high school at that time. So like, when you should talk about sports in high school, like it's just a different level. You see each other every day, you're debating at lunch, all that type of stuff. So that one hit a little different. Um, we haven't beat the Niners since then, so y'all got that one. It was 2025 now, so it's been about 11 years. But yeah, that was special, man. But another rivalry I got to shout out is definitely the Red Sox Yankees, man. Like that one right there, there's a lot of passion between those fan bases. We talk about baseball. There's just so much that goes into it. They always seem to play each other in these big playoff series, and it's not just something that, it's not one of those rivalries you think about and you're like, oh yeah, man, back in the day it was just different. Like, no, that's something that consistently is just always a very good rivalry. So
Yep.
I think one from being from California, both of these teams not my team, but I just remember in 2022 when the Rams played the Niners and SoFi was only selling a certain amount of tickets to, or the greater portion of the tickets to SoCal fans, which kind of backfired because it doesn't mean there's Niner fans down there, but I just think that's crazy, and I just think in California, like it's like a North California for Southern California thing, so it runs deeper than football. It also ties into like gang ties and all that. But it's the red blue in California. I don't know. That's just a good rivalry in my opinion. But if you want to go down to sports, gameplay, all that, you gotta go Ravens or Steelers versus the Bengals. That's some smash mouth football on probably on a Thursday night, like, and they over here hitting each other. So I hope one day I get to experience that game. But yeah, those would be my two rivals.
Steelers versus Bengals over the Ravens.
Yeah, I think it's more watered down now just because of the respect and aura of Lamar Jackson. I think everybody respects Lamar Jackson, so I don't think it's that much of a rival no more. Whereas it is to Bengals, but even Jamar Chase, he over here wants to say like the toughest DBC guy say is the Steelers, in which I don't think will ever. It wouldn't happen growing up. So the rival in the AFC North is kind of watered down nowadays.
Who back in the Steelers days of like just nasty defenses, who do you think would have been talking the most about Lamar?
Talking the most like in disrespectful.
Yeah, yeah, from Steelers
Uh,
standpoint.
The person that wouldn't say a word is James Harrison. He wouldn't care about none of that, and he's gonna try to crack him. He's gonna try to knock the visor off of him. So I'll pick James Harrison. But if you want to go talking, it's gonna be Joey Porter. Joey Porter had a mouth, so
Yeah, I think if you had those two guys like playing for y'all nowadays, it'll be a little different. But the fact that every like Lamar is such a likable guy within the league, that is just hard to make that a rival. And plus, Lamar don't really talk unless you talk to him. You know what I'm saying? But I think Joey Porter and James Harrison, it would. Speaking of the icebreaker that or the question that Miles brought up earlier, it would have been nice to see them play against Lamar.
yeah. They would get fined nowadays though. It would we would barely see them. 3 game suspension, 4 game suspension, 5 game. I'm like, you might as
Field
well
will
just
be
let it
covered in
go.
flags.
Right.
Yeah. Um, I'm a. I think the 49ers peak rivalry from what I've seen was the Seahawks, right? And Raiders, didn't like losing to the Raiders and Battle of the Bay and everything like that, but it's like we play every 4 years from a regular season standpoint. You had the preseason and you had the fights and stuff, and it was just you grew up, but like playing the Seahawks, especially during that peak time where it was Russell Wilson versus Colin Kaepernick, and it was for the championship, like
Mhm.
to go to the Super Bowl, like that was like when I was like, man, I really freaking hate this team. Like I could not stand them. Like that type of hate towards a team I never felt towards any other team. But college, the rivalry I like now, college football, is Bama versus LSU. More so because I don't think it's the best like rivalry, but it is my favorite because they got a lot of guys that are just going to the NFL, like a lot of star-studded guys on both sides, and like it's always an entertaining game with a great finish. Like I just think of Jaden Daniels 2, 3 years ago when they beat Bama in overtime, like,
At
or
LSU,
the
boy.
right the Tua when Tua had Devontae Smith, Jerry Judy, um, Waddle, and Joe Burrow had Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Now that game was going back and forth. Like LSU ended up winning by like what 8+, but like man, it was very entertaining. So I'm gonna go with those two.
I like that matchup, man. I think LSU versus Alabama, man. You see a lot of fireworks during them games. Um, I would say, ooh, college. That's definitely my college one for sure. But just professional sports, I got to go with Lakers Warriors, man. Especially in recent years, like as LeBron and Steph are kind of getting over that hill, man, and they kind of reaching that final stage of their athletic careers, bro. Each game just feels like a reward. You know what I mean to us fans. It's always like fireworks. The games are always close somehow, some way, and um, we always duke it out. Recent y'all just got Jimmy, so y'all won like the last one, but we've had Lakers have had bragging rights kind of these last few years, man. But even going back to high school, man, and when the Lakers was in those dark years and Warriors was winning, man, it was
Shining,
dark
huh?
times. It
I
it
know
was
it's different.
quiet, bro. I couldn't say
Yeah.
nothing. All I could say was, we got our rings, but y'all didn't get to see them happen up close and personal. Maybe like our freshman year, but yeah. So overall, I would say that's my favorite rivalry, man. I got to, all the trash talk and just, being from the Bay Area and being a Lakers fan, man. It's you in hostile territory, but it's always fun to see that matchup happen. So
Feel better.
yeah,
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think rivalries hit harder in the pros or in college?
College.
I'll
College
go
for sure.
college.
College. Them NFL players don't care, or professionals at that. That's more of a fan
Ohio
Yeah,
base.
State,
I
Michigan, boy.
say,
I'm
I say
Man,
surprised no one
pros.
said that one. I thought one of
it's
y'all was gonna
there.
say it. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't say
Nah.
it.
I didn't
USC.
realize how big that rivalry is, Ohio State, Michigan, until I moved to Ohio. Cause like we're from California. We would like college football here, you know, it exists, but it's really not like we don't go to battle for it. Out there, it's really different. Like that game, especially Ohio State, Michigan. I mean, these people are all in. They are, I mean, I didn't even expect to experience that type of hype around that game. and how serious people are about that stuff. So that was definitely cool to see. So yeah.
I wonder, is it
Yeah,
true?
yeah.
Do they not say Michigan? They don't. They don't say Michigan when the game happens. I heard that was a thing.
Team up north.
Yeah,
What
that's
they
what they
say?
say.